We have had some experience in development. Maybe it is worthwhile for Egypt to study how we develop the country, but I would emphasize that Malaysia alone should not be taken as a model. It may be not suitable in some ways for Egypt, so there is a range of countries that can be used as a model for Egypt. If people are unemployed, obviously they are going to be a source of problem and trouble for the government. So it's a duty of government to create jobs, as many jobs as possible for the people. When we find that it is, we require, say, agricultural land to be converted to industrial use, we do so. And of course, this has enabled us to set up industrial estates. But the industrial estate can be anywhere where there is a demand. So with the industrial estates and a policy to attract investors, the industrialization process was successful. For a long time, I think Egypt concentrated more on the historical sites. And then it discovered that people would like to go to the beaches, to the sea. And then only you provided the facilities there. And you can see that it has succeeded in attracting high spenders who just want to be by the seaside. In Italy and France and all that, tourists would flout local moralities. But we tell them that this is what you can do, but you can't exceed that. We find some people want to be in the nude. We told them, sorry, not here. But more people are willing to just enjoy the scenery and not create a problem. In certain instances where you do not have the capital and the know-how, of course you need to invite foreign investors to come in. But in the case of Malaysia, we decided that our production volume is small, and there will come a time when it will be exhausted. So before it becomes exhausted, we have to find sites outside of the country. So we urge the petroleum company to go and look for other places out of Malaysia, and not only to expect to collect royalty, but to actually be involved in the industry completely, from the prospecting for oil right up to marketing, refining, petrochemicals, shipping lines and all that. The whole spectrum. Of course, by not practicing cronyism, yes. That is one thing. But the other thing is to point out that investments create jobs and create wealth, and the wealth will eventually go back to the people. So when we decided that we should bring in foreign investors, most other countries initially rejected foreign investment because they thought that these people will control the economy. But we have regulations. They are confined to their business. They are not supposed to be involved in politics or anything like that. And the terms of for their investment is spelled out to them, that this is what we want you to do, create jobs for our people, you can make your own profits and all that, but you should not undermine the people of the country. Malaysia is a Muslim country. population, more than 60% are Muslims, but we do not have extremists in our society. There are some attempts, but we counter that by explaining actually what is it that religion teaches us. Because when we see extremism, they invariably deviate from the teachings of Islam. So we counter that by saying, no, this is a deviation. It's not the true teachings of Islam. People saying that, well, to be Muslim, you must be dressed like this. If you are not dressed like this, therefore you're not Muslim. We point out that there is nothing about that. The main thing is awrat. The problem is that we tend to follow the West in dividing into religious and secular. For us, there is no secular. What is called secular is actually a part of the teachings of the religion. So although we still have laws which we inherited from the British, but the main stress is on justice, because we are a multiracial, multi-religious population. We cannot chop the hands of Muslims and not chop the hands of the non-Muslims. But if you chop the hands of the non-Muslims, there will be a great deal of resentment and there will be tension within the country. So again, the Quran says that you should not cause trouble in the country. You should avoid trouble. And if you want to do something that will cause trouble, then it's not Islamic. I consider myself a fundamentalist, Islamic fundamentalist, because I follow more the teachings as found in the Quran and the verified hadith, and not according to the teachings of certain imams or ulama. Although in Malaysia we are all Sunnis, followers of Imam Shafi'i, but we also accept the teachings of Maliki, Hanbali. We find it difficult to accept the Shia kind of teaching, but we have no quarrel with them. They say they want to set up an Islamic state. We tell them that we are already an Islamic state. So what is your definition of an Islamic state? And they find it difficult because there are so many other Islamic states where the people are not all Muslims. And then they wanted to apply the hudud laws to cut hands and chop the necks and all that. But we are opposed to that because it will create a division between one race and one religion and another. Well, we are Muslims, of course. There are certain restrictions, but we do not apply Islamic restriction to non-Muslims. So if they want to drink alcohol, that is their business. If they want to gamble, that is their business. But Muslims are not allowed. And we have accepted the difference, and it has not come in the way of our development. Of course, all our development must not be contrary to the teachings of Islam. Oh yes, there definitely is a change. Attitude of the people is different. People are now much more open, much more willing to discuss. In the past, there was no willingness to discuss, to complain even. We know they're not happy, but they never said anything about the regime. But now they are openly discussing the differences between them, and this is very healthy, and it leads to the kind of freedom that the people yearn for. So there is a difference. Well, the people who are supporters of the past regime, I think, they would feel uncomfortable. That is normal. I think the foreign Muslim countries are afraid that this will be emulated in their country. So they don't quite like what to see this thing happening in Egypt, because their own countries might go through the same process.